This is MCB M.O.S S, and this is a recap of the M.O.S S Face Tour. Hey, what's up, man? It's DJ M.O.S S, MCB M.O.S S, and this is a recap of the M.O.S S Fest Tour. Let me break down everything what happened. So, I invited some of my closest friends to be a part of what I got going on. As far as like Brandon, Ray, Shamil, Joe, and I talked to them months ago about my vision. I talked to them months ago about what I wanted to do with this tour and what I wanted to, what we can all, gain from it. And I also told everybody, I said, listen, you can either win with me and you can lose with me. You got to understand that this could possibly go good or bad, but just be willing to rock out with me either way, because y'all been rocking out with me for so long. Everyone, was okay with that. Now, with the situation that happened after the Atlanta show, it was basically my nigga Shamil. He been with me the longest. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. I like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been with me the longest. He been with me since before I started, doing this independently. I've been knowing him since he was in 8th grade, and now he's 23 years old. And a situation happened where I just needed some rest. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the main drivers of the tour is me and Brandon, and I needed. Shamel can drive too, Ray can drive, and Joe can drive, but it's situations to where I don't need Ray or Joe to drive. I just really wanted me and Shamel and Brandon to drive. Now, mind you, me and Brandon are the main two drivers. So we're driving to Houston, Texas. After the Atlanta show, we're driving to Houston, Texas. And as we're driving to Houston, Texas, I'm tired. I just had a show in Atlanta. I just drove 4 hours from Atlanta. I think we're somewhere outside of Alabama, somewhere in Alabama. I'm tired as hell. Brandon, he was drinking at the show, so he's tired too. So mind you, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I forgot what time it was or whatever. Shamel is up. He's talkative. He's talking to everybody. I'm like, man, listen, can you drive? Can you just at least drive for like 45 minutes? That's all we asked for, just 45 minutes. Now, mind you, Shamel gets upset because he doesn't want to drive. And it's not the fact that I'm just gonna pressure him to drive, but only thing we ask for is just for 45 minutes. Like, that's it, 45 minutes. Now it initially was 2 hours, then we dropped it down to an hour, then he complained about that. Then we dropped it down to 45 minutes, and we complained about that. So at the end of the day, Brandon was like, fuck it, I'll drive. That's why he's expendable.
He is expendable, that's real shit.
But it's because it's like, if you're not gonna be able to put in, everybody want a check, but don't nobody want to put in the work it takes to get a check. You know what I'm saying? And even though it doesn't matter if you're getting paid a little bit or a lot, I just look at it like, if it was him and it was his tour, and if he had some issues going on with his license, just like my license is fucked up. My license is suspended right now. I don't give a fuck, I'm still driving. But like, at the end of the day, it's my tour. So like, with my license being suspended and his license is suspended or whatever the hell is wrong with it, like, I would have did it for him. And sometimes I feel like I work harder for the people that's on my team than they do for me. I don't feel like the feelings is reciprocated as it would be for anybody else on the team versus, I wear my heart on my sleeve when it comes to my people on my team, because they take care of me. So I feel like I should take care of them, if anything were to happen. But in certain instances, as this situation happened, he didn't really, we asked for was 45 minutes. That's it, 45 minutes. We, just driving 45 minutes. If people got pulled over, we would have got him out of jail. Not saying that would have happened. It was just 4 in the morning. No cops out like that. Just drive the speed limit. That's it, 45 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna be real. When you're doing these shows, you gotta understand, like, you can't just do them and say, oh, I'm gonna go to this city, I'm gonna go to this city, I'm gonna go to this city. So I hit up one of my homeboys who had Savannah. Like, he had a venue, but the venue wasn't in Savannah, it was in Richmond Hill, which is a town outside of Savannah. So I did Savannah M.O.S.S Fest, but it was really in Richmond Hill, and more artists didn't come out in the Savannah show because it was, it wasn't in Savannah. It was in the town outside of Savannah. It was still an okay show. It just wasn't as good as what is, you know, what Jacksonville was or what the Atlanta show was. So, you know, we took a loss in Savannah. And so I told the team, I said, listen, you know, we ain't really make that much money, so here's the situation. Now, we can stay or we can go. But I'm gonna be real. It was only 300.
We stay, niggas ain't getting paid. When we go, niggas might get something. That's what you're saying.
Mind you, this is where if Shamel would have drove, the whole situation would have been completely different. So mind you, we drove from Houston, Texas to Savannah, Georgia. Me and Brandon did. But Shamel didn't want to drive, so we said, fuck it. Okay, cool. Now, we're really tired. Because we either can go back to Atlanta or we can stay in Savannah. And we wanted to stay in Savannah because we've been driving all night. And they were like, okay, cool.
I'm cool with that. They ain't getting paid.
We'll stay. Everybody wanted to stay except for Shamel. Shamel was like, oh, well, you know, I think he said something to the matter of, I got kids on the way.
I'm cool with that.
I got twins.
So he wanted to leave. But unfortunately, now we're really tired. We can't leave because, we can't leave. And I know he's not finna drive. So majority rules. At the end of the day, I'm listening to what Ray want to do, what Joe want to do, what Brandon want to do. They all want to stay. Shamel the only nigga that want to go, but he didn't want to drive. And that's my dude. That's my dude. But at the end of the day, like, majority rules. And I'm not trying to talk bad about my guy. I can't say anything bad about him, but at the end of the day, like, business is business, you know what I'm saying? I did bring Brandon along to help drive, but if he can't drive, then other people pick up the slack. It's like a job, you know what I'm saying? If somebody can't do something, then another person on the team helps out. That's a part of being a team. I mean, to me, I took everybody to Hilton Head. I took everybody to Hilton Head for one because I wanted everybody to see, you know, where the house I pretty much, I ain't gonna say made me, but the house that I lived in, right? You know what I'm saying? And I lived in a nice, pretty decent house. It was nice. It was on the water front. You know, you can go in the living room, you can see the water, see the dolphins and shit in the morning time and everything. Like, it was a nice view. So I wanted the team to really see that, like, you know, we can eventually end up here. So yeah, I did kind of feel a little bad. I just felt kind of bad because it was just like, yeah, we had this loss in Savannah. What if the rest of the tour is like this? You know, what if, you know, things don't go as well, which I was already kind of mentally prepared for, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen. Mr. George Edwards, man. I love George Edwards. Like, no, I mean, he's like I won't be real. I'm gonna give y'all a whole backstory of myself. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, right? In Jackson, Mississippi, like, I ain't gonna say I was raised like this, but I was known that most of the time white people are gonna be against you. And in my mind, I was like, okay, white people gonna be against me. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust white people. Like, that's how I was brought up. Not saying all white people are like that, but just don't give them the benefit of the doubt. It's kind of like you know how white people stereotype us. It's kind of like we stereotype them low key too. So when I moved to South Carolina, George Edwards was my neighbor actually. His wife Pam, she actually was my manager at my job, and they helped me in so many tremendous ways to where, like, they kind of like just took me in under their wing, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would cook me dinner some nights, and they stayed like, you know, 2 houses down. And George is kind of like, him and Pam is kind of like another mother and father figure that I didn't have. Mind you, when I was living in South Carolina, I didn't have no family in South Carolina. I didn't have no friends in South Carolina. The only people I had was George and Miss Pam, and I was brought up to where, like, most of the time white people are gonna be against you. So like when I see these people, these white people, no offense to, you know, the color of their skin, but when I see these people helping me out, like, it made me have a whole different aspect on life. On, listen, not all white people are gonna be after you. Not all white people are gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying? That really opened up my eyes to the world. Because growing up in the South, you know, you pretty much gonna think that most of them are gonna be against you, but in that instance, it wasn't. And I do appreciate George and Pam. Like, they always will have a place, like, in my heart. I'll never forget about it. Never. They are good people. Always good people. Alright, so with this tour, it was a 50 city tour, right? So we did a couple shows before the tour started. We said we're gonna take artists on the road with us. Now, mind you, I didn't want to do this at first. I'm glad we ended up doing it, but I didn't want to do it at first. So my partner Riel, he said if we do it, I came to a conclusion with him. I said if we do it, I don't want to be involved with dealing with the artists because I'm already dealing with the shows. So it's like, it's kind of hard with dealing with the artists and dealing with the shows and everything like that. Like I just wasn't really trying to go through all that. So he was like, all right, cool, I'll deal with the artists. I'll take I'll take full responsibility of the artists. I'm like, all right, cool. So the artists, now we have my crew plus all these artists on the road with us, and which was a whole nother, aspect which I didn't want to have to go through, but I'm glad they came. It was a good experience, minus a few shows, but it was a good experience for the artists, and most of them are happy that they were on the road. Jamel ain't with us because he told us straight up. He told us that he had a baby on the way, twins, and I completely understood that. He said he had a baby on the way. We can't, he can't continue the tour anymore. He gotta go home. He gotta figure some shit out, work, fine, cool. That's what he said. Now, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if that was true or not. I don't even know if the baby is here. I don't know if the baby was real. I'm just going off what he said because that is my guy, and I will hope that he doesn't lie to me. I've been reaching out to Jamel since then, and he hasn't answered none of my phone calls. So I don't know what's the gist of things. Like, he's been with me the longest, so I figured he would be the one that will understand how the road go. I would hope that he didn't get upset over a conversation that with him not driving for 45 minutes. But if he is having a baby on the way, then congrats to him. And I'm not here to badmouth anybody like that. Only thing I could just say is that all I need is some communication. If he didn't want to have to continue the tour anymore, just tell me you didn't want to have to do this anymore. Don't lie to me. Don't go to that extent to lie to me just to not do the tour no more. Just be like, M.O.S.S ain't working no more. I gotta do this for me. And I would have accepted that better than you saying I have a baby on the way. Now, he might have a baby on the way. He might be, and the girl probably, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But like, if that story is not true, don't. I will hope that story is true for his sake, because if you lie to me about that kind of stuff, knowing that Jamel takes the money at the door, ain't no telling what else he could have lied about. My closest friends that I feel like if you want to invest into my tour, like, understand this is what's going to happen. Like, you can take a win, you can take a loss. So the issue with Ray was that I offered him a position to invest, which was supposed to be $1,000, and I never got that $1,000. And I'm not putting nobody's business out there. I just never got it. So it's cool, I understand it, but it did affect some of the parts on the tour, which in his eyes, I shouldn't have been so mainly focused on just that rack. But my thing is, if you're my closest friends, or you my niggas, then I feel like your word is bond, because if I say something to you, my word is bond. But I do understand shit changes, because I'm just as wrong as Ray was, because I said we're gonna do this 50 city tour and everybody could potentially get paid or not get paid, which I said everybody will get paid. And like I said, I'm just as wrong because I stopped the tour and made niggas go home. So I'm just as wrong as he is for not giving me what he's supposed to give me. But it's cool. Like we ended up, a lot of shows that was supposed to happen from the money, that he was supposed to give didn't happen. At least about 8 or 9 of those shows that I was supposed to put deposits down, and that was gonna be the shows for July, and those shows in July never happened. First few shows was like New Orleans, Jackson, Little Rock. I think we took a break on that Sunday, and then that Monday was Atlanta. That one went pretty decent. Tuesday was Shreveport. That one was and then Birmingham went all the way down. And honestly, once again, I'm the lead. Like I said, I'll eat that. I'll eat everything. I'll eat every reason why shows didn't go. I'll eat everything. But like the thing about it is like that show we wasn't able to pay nobody. Like now we got artists on the road with us, and like we gotta take care of extra rooms and all that extra stuff like that. Cool, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll eat that because we thought that I thought that the shows were gonna go good to where we could take care of everything. Now we're going into our own personal pockets, and it's just things that shouldn't have happened on the road, as far as like, you know, us going into our own personal pockets to make sure the shit works for everybody else. Like I shouldn't have to have done that, but I shouldn't have also had to depend on the whole tour going good like that. I'm supposed to be able to make sure it works, good or bad. Everybody still should have got paid, but unfortunately on my end, it didn't happen like that. Even though I told my team, you gonna win with me, you gonna win with me, you gonna lose with me, you lose with me. Like as a boss, like you can't clock in and do a job and then not expect to get paid at the end of the night. That's not no boss shit. Like you gotta make sure you pay your people. And I wasn't able to pay my people. Now mind you, I can only count on one hand how many times I was not able to pay my people within a matter of 3 years. And like the times that I wasn't able to pay my people all happened back to back to back to back. And that's why I had to make an executive decision like, listen, I have to stop this tour. Y'all can continue it with the artists. I have to stop it. So, and go back home and recuperate. I have to go home. I'm still not feeling well. I'm still sick. But it's getting a little bit worse. And I have to go back home. So at least I can get myself together, get some extra money just in case shit goes bad. Tell some of the team, listen, I got another quality team that can run this show. You know what I'm saying? I got another DJ, you know, so they can run everything. But my crew, we gonna go back to Atlanta and we gonna finish this shit right here. So that way, and it's only, at this point, it's only me, Brandon, Joe, and Ray. So Brandon, Ray, and myself, we all went back to Atlanta. And, that's when I let Riel handle the rest of the tour with the artists. Now everything else, the venues, all that stuff's already taken care of. But I had to make an executive decision like, listen, if I'm paying my crew, let me just stop this tour right here and stop this part of the tour on my team. That way I don't have to pay the team. I can get enough money to go back to Atlanta, recoup my money back up, and then we can hit the road back when the tour's over with for the artists. So, because we were spending a lot of money having those artists with us, which is not a problem. It's not a problem. Everything was taken care of, but we were spending extra money out of our pocket that we didn't have to spend because we was expecting the shows to go as well. So, before we decided to spend more money, I decided to not let my part of my team go, and my team understood. And that's why we went back to Atlanta. So that's why things didn't work out the way it was. But I'll be a man, I'll be a boss, I'll eat all that shit. I'll eat it all. Like, it was my fault. It's cool, it's my fault.
Yeah.